Good Friday morning. I had a request to explain again cap statements and what that means and how to use them. So I am going to make one last video that I'm going to require you to watch for both A push and AP Euro, just as a here's how you write a DBQ quickie tutorial. So because I'm making it for both my classes, I'm going to interchange historical content. So just follow along. Sometimes I'll bring up US history, sometimes I'll bring up European history. So just go with the flow and listen. So first we'll start with, again, the most important part is your thesis statement. And again, the thesis statement, I think most everybody's doing really well on thesis statements. But again, I want to reiterate, meaning say again and again, it's a statement, not a big, giant, long paragraph, first this, second this, third this. It's a statement. You should be able to get it in one good sentence, two, if necessary. And that statement should do exactly what the prompt is asking you to do. Most often, it is always evaluate. So evaluate means think about this topic and then let me know if you agree or disagree with the prompt and how and why you disagree with the prompt. Evaluate the extent that Napoleon was a child of the Enlightenment. That's what we're going to work with. So my thesis statement would be Napoleon was a child of the Enlightenment because of his belief of this and belief of this. However, he was not because of this. Very simple. So Napoleon was a child of the Enlightenment because he believed in education and he believed in economic freedom. However, he was not because he was a dictator. Very simple. Okay? So that's my thesis statement. My context would be, how did Napoleon get in charge? How did Napoleon get to that point? How was Napoleon a product of enlightenment? I got a lot of things that I can say about Napoleon and how Napoleon got to the point. Napoleon rises to leadership in France as a result of the failures of the French Revolution, and the French Revolution went too far to the left and opened the door for a strong dictator to move back in. Context, done. So now I've got documents. And what I need to do is sort my documents into groups that prove my thesis. So my first one is going to be about education. Now, again, I have to look at my documents and find something that works with that, but I'm going to look for education. And then I'm going to write something about the document, this supports education. Now, the most important part, the cap statement that goes with that document. So a cap statement is based on using the document in one of these four ways. And you only have to do one cap statement. You don't have to do all of them. And those cap statements are context. In what context was that document written or used? Audience, who was that document to be sent out to? P, the first P, point of view. That's the point of view of the person that wrote the document. And the last one is purpose. What was the purpose of that document? So in evaluating those four, the easiest one to do is always point of view, especially if it's written by a person. And if it's written by a person, point of view is the easiest one to do. Next one would be context. What was the context of which that document was written? And usually you have to use those for government official documents or edicts or anything like that. There's not really a point of view of those. Those are usually a purpose. What was the purpose of that document? And then next would probably be the purpose. What was the purpose? And then the last one would be audience. And students usually aren't very good about audience because they think it's just to everybody in France, and that's not usually the case. So if we're going to talk about education for Napoleon, and I'm going to find a document that mentions education. And if it is something that Napoleon wrote himself about the importance of education, my cap statement would be, and of course, Napoleon would support education because, and that's where we're going to put because, or of course, Napoleon was a child of the Enlightenment because, and then you're going to indicate something to the effect that Napoleon was only able to rise up to dictator because of his experiences with having an opportunity through education, right? He was a poor kid in Corsica. He would have never amounted to anything unless he got that free education that allowed him to rise up in the ranks. So that's a cap statement. Um, and the, I'm sorry to roll my eyes like that. Those cap statements are always followed by a because. Of course, Napoleon supported education because. Cap statement, done. So the next one would be something about the economy, like what he did for the economy, metric system, any of those things. And usually those are some kind of government decree. And that again would be context. And the context for any kind of economic support would be, of course, Napoleon needed to deal with the economy since the French Revolution started because the French government was bankrupt. Cap statement. Simple, easy, to the point. Okay? And then lastly, we're talking about why Napoleon was not enlightened, because he really was just a dictator. And in that, you can use many different cap statements. The idea of Napoleon as a dictator could easily be seen by the fact that he put all of his relatives on the crowns and thrones across Europe. And that, of course, that's not an enlightened. He did not take into regard the idea of the social contract of Rousseau. And again, cap statement. So that's a cap statement. What you need to think about when you're looking at those documents is why that document supports, or I'm sorry, how that document supports my thesis statement, and why. Why. The context of which it's written, the point of view of the person writing it, those issues, okay? So that takes you through those cap statements. Most always, a cap statement can be completed by using the word because. Because Napoleon was a child of the Enlightenment, he would have done this. Napoleon was a child of the Enlightenment because, and most always you can answer those cap statements because. Then we need to remember outside information. And I just mentioned a ton of outside information that probably was not part of any of the documents that, excuse me, that Napoleon was a poor kid born in Corsica. He wasn't really French, was he? So you've got lots of things that you can use for outside information. And then making sure that you use as many documents as possible. We're going to have 5. Again, best is to use all 5, but you have to use at least 4. You need at least 3 cap statements, 1 in each paragraph. Or if you're doing 2 paragraphs, we've talked about that, maybe doing just 2. You need 2 in one and 1 in the other, of that nature. So, thesis statement, something that you can prove, an argument that has both sides of history. Context, make sure the context leads you up to the event. So if I'm talking about Napoleon and I'm writing about the French Revolution, I just can't write about the French Revolution. I got to write about how the French Revolution led to Napoleon. And that would be that the French Revolution went too far to the left and the public no longer supported, so it allowed for a strong ruler like Napoleon to come. I can't just talk about the French Revolution. Or I could talk about the Enlightenment and the ideals of the Enlightenment and what the ideals of the Enlightenment said about government. That would be context. Then I'm going to sort my documents into groups that support my thesis. So if this makes sense to do 3 paragraphs, I sort my documents into the 3 paragraphs, or 2, I'm going to put my documents in the 2. And then I'm going to look at each document and I'm going to find one. And remember, you don't have to do it for every single document. If you can, that's awesome because you're hedging your bets that if you mess one up, you've got another one. But you need to do it for at least 3. Pick out those 3. Excuse me. Pick out those 3 documents that you can easily do a cap statement for. And then um, think about the outside information that's not included. As always, there should be something glaringly obvious that is not mentioned in those documents that should be an easy outside information. It shouldn't make you stretch. And one of those probably might be Napoleon's background, or if I'm going to move to one that my AAP Euro kids did recently, the scientific revolution, where in none of those documents was the man Galileo mentioned. So that's a glaringly omission. Like, I just got to throw Galileo and a telescope in there, and that's outside information. Lastly, how do you tie that up? And I've had a couple people ask me about synthesis because we didn't really talk about that much in class because it is a difficult point to earn. But synthesis means you wrap that up and you compare it with something else that happened in history. Again, I would rather you do all those other points than get to the synthesis. But for those of you that have time and want to work and there is something so obvious that that synthesis point becomes kind of easy, you compare Napoleon with another time in history. You compare Napoleon with another realpolitik. You compare Napoleon with someone who was willing to give up on some areas of his beliefs to get something of the other. Elizabeth I, she would be an easy one, right? She's a realpolitik. She gave up this to get that. Oliver Cromwell, who started with these ideas of grandeur of a commonwealth, but in the end ended up a dictator. So that's synthesis. And sometimes it's easy, and sometimes it's not that easy. So I hope this is helpful. Again, a cap statement is simply just telling me how that document supports my thesis by telling me what's behind the document. What's the point of the document? All right? So again, I am making this at 8:30 in the morning. And I just kind of got up out of bed and threw myself together. So I apologize for the visuals on this. But I got a couple of emails this morning from students like, ooh, those cap things. Can you tell me again? So hopefully this helps. I'm going to put this as a discussion. And I want you to answer the question that I am going to put as part of the discussion and making sure that you understand. And if you have any other questions, tag it on this discussion and I'll be looking at it throughout the day. This is a requirement to watch, so make sure that you watch it because it's a graded discussion and you're going to have to do something at the end to earn your points. So again, thesis statement, an argument, context, what led to this event happening? What led to the event happening? Not just a random discussion of a historical fact, but how did Napoleon become the leader of France? Or, because we're talking about Enlightenment, give me some background of the Enlightenment, not just crazy Enlightenment stuff like Rousseau, but something that connects. Then sort your documents. Then look at what each of those documents can do to support your thesis. And then the cap statement puts the document in some kind of relevance, right? Context, audience, don't really use that one. Point of view, the easiest one to use. And purpose. What was the purpose of Napoleon's decrees on the economy? The purpose was to give the people of France, after years of bankruptcy, inflation, some sense of Napoleon's got this economy thing under control, right? Okay, so I keep thinking I'm ending this, but I keep adding things. So happy Friday. You've been listening to me a lot today. I think lots of things you had to listen to me today, but I hope this was a little bit helpful. Watch again and again and again if you need to. Send me any kind of questions you have in the discussion comments. If I'm not still clear, please let me know. I can keep on doing these. Hopefully I can look better the next time. Oh,